Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, you lovely folks joining me here nice and early over at Marvel Snap Zone. Welcome back for yet another daily deck highlight covering some of our favourite decks put out there by you guys in the community onto our incredible on-site deck builder. Today, slightly different change of pace for this one. We noticed from a poll that we ran in the community tab on YouTube that a lot of you guys are now making your way into Pool 3. If not, pretty deep in Pool 3 with a couple of cards already, meaning you're starting to explore some of these more gimmicky, more niche archetypes perhaps. And as a result, we thought it might be a nice time to feature one of the most gimmicky decks the Marvel Snap has to offer and see how this one can handle itself over the course of a 3-game set. So we're going to look at our first ever Pool 3 deck today on Deck Feature with a really sweet one from BarkRules. BarkRules submitted this via our deck builder. This is Casino Agatha, and if you're not familiar with Agatha Harkness, we're going to show you how this one works in a hot second. If you want to have a deck like this yourself featured on the channel, show people what you're building, what you're up to, and maybe show us something that we haven't seen, you can do so via building a deck on our deck builder over at marvelsnapzone.com. I visit the pool of decks every single day to find things that I think look particularly cool. Alternatively, come and join us in the community Discord server, nearly 1,500 members in there now, maybe even more. Let us know what's going on in there. We pick decks from there as well. Alternatively, last but not least, you can tag us at Marvel Snap Zone on your preferred choice of social media, and we can take a look there as well. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. Really want to be making more of this style of content for you. Click the bell, turn on notifications, and make sure you don't miss any of these sweet deck techs coming at you from Marvel Snap Zone. So, BarkRulesKR decided they wanted to play with Agatha Harkness. Now, Agatha is a card that is not for me, personally, and definitely a little unconventional, but it's going to be a really good way of you grinding some boosters and leveling up without having to put in all too much effort. Agatha will always start the game in your hand, and she's going to play the game for you. It's really that simple. Now, there are some upsides to that. Agatha, of course, going to have 14 power, always on turn 6. She tries to play herself wherever possible, but that means we get very little control over where our stuff goes and what it is that we're doing, hence the casino aspect of this deck. However, much like when we do go gambling IRL, we're going to try our best to stay the odds and make Agatha do the thing that we want her to do. So, the only 1-drops and 2-drops in this deck are Quicksilver and Domino. These cards always have to be drawn in the starting hand or on turn 2, and therefore Agatha has no choice but to play them. She'll absolutely have to. They'll go wherever we need them to go. That's when the casino aspect comes into play. You'll see the rest of this deck is very much built to be a somewhat discard-based shell, looking with all these 3-drops in the form of Gambit, Lady Sif, and Swordmaster to discard Agatha Harkness. We want to try our best to remove her from our hand and get control back over our game so that we can decide where things go from moving forward. More importantly, we'll be able to revive her later with Hela. If we get to that stage of the game with Hela intact, means we can revive a big 14 power card into the play free of charge. Dracula, not bad here either, because Agatha will always select to play herself on turn 6. There's a good chance there's an Inferno or Death stuck in our hand to grow this thing arbitrarily large. Of course, Jubilee here, we've got fatties in the deck, so it makes sense to try and cheat them into play on turn number 4 where possible, and Sandman should hopefully slow our opponent down and make sure Agatha is playing our more expensive cards later in the game instead of our cheaper ones. Fingers crossed. This one is definitely a bit of fun, definitely falls into the meme tier, but should be a blast to play, I hope. So, we're going to take this one for a spin, see whether or not Agatha Harkness can win any games on the ranked ladder, and just let you see some of the fun you can have with a deck like this. So, let's take a cheeky peek. You'll see the perks already to this is that having Agatha means I got a chance to blow my nose, and the game kept playing for me. So we are definitely playing Quicksilver on turn number 1 here on the right-hand side. So very much the intended plan here. We always have a 1 and a 2, so Agatha has no choice but to play them. And then hopefully this Swordmaster or this Gambit is going to put her in the discard pile. Fingers crossed. Alrighty. Which 3-drop are we going to be going with? Washington, D.C. is, like, fine. Swordmaster. Okay. That's exactly what we wanted. I would like to take my 25%er. Goodbye, Agatha, question mark? Okay. Game 1. Did the thing. Agatha's gone. We have control back. Let's try and cheat a fatty into play with Jubilee. I think we want to win Asgard if possible. We might even get a free Agatha in play here from Hela if we manage to flip Hela into play. Oh, look at that. It's like I pre-recorded this. Well, there you go. That's the perfect example of what this casino is trying to do. We definitely beat the house this game. Managed to flip Agatha in. We did, however, lose Asgard, even though we put 7 power here, which is kind of impressive, honestly. I think I just skipped turn 5 here to play the Infinite. We're already winning Washington, D.C. pretty hard. Goodbye, Dracula. Okay, this is, like, fine. Fairly sure we just try and take Asgard away from our opponent. Less of a gap here than there is in Monster Metropolis. So, Infinite, please. It always feels good when you win going to the casino early. Gives you more money to lose when you're when you're jamming later on. This deck's really sweet. It's such a novel, unique way of playing Marvel Snap, especially if you don't win in the casino and Agatha gets to keep playing past turn 3. I think this should be good. Opponent taking their time, deciding whether they have a way to beat what's a pretty obvious Infinite, I think. With us skipping turn 5, I think it's pretty obvious that we intend on popping 20 power into play. I don't think they can beat that unless they have something like Shang-Chi. Maybe they're just like salt roping us, making us wait the entire window, which is obviously not the best for content, but sometimes that is the Marvel Snap ladder for you. They do make a play mid. They play Death, which Death is not enough. Infinite taking Asgard. Winner, winner, chicken dinner for the first game for Agatha. She's 1-0 out of 3. Little cool tip here as well, by the way. I didn't know this until our guide went up on Reddit the other day, because I've not played with Agatha basically at all, but I didn't realize she sucks all the boosters in every game you play with her, courtesy of that little bubble you see there as well. She doesn't think the rest of the deck is worthy, so she's going to get all the boosters for herself, which is really novel, and it's such a cool piece of design. So 1-0 in the Agatha Casino. Can we keep the good luck up? She's in our hand again, as is Quicksilver. No discard effect early this time. That might be a little bit sticky. Okay, we found Gambit. Okay, we might be alright. So Quicksilver into Domino. Going to be the play pattern you find every time. And again, you can kind of see already why this deck is really good to play. If you're looking to, like, grind your missions while doing something else. If you're like, meant to be working from home, maybe. Or just dealing with another task, playing another game. It's, like, really good for that. And it's definitely very novel. I wouldn't want to play this too often, but it's definitely a cooler, unique way of playing. Attilan here could be very funny if we don't discard Agatha, because we might just get control of our hand back from her being shuffled into the deck, which would be hilarious. We got our 25%er on this Gambit to pitch Agatha away. Do we get lucky again? Nope, we lose Hela this time, which is significantly worse. Opponent Cerebro, not going to be buffing anything just yet, but that is pretty dangerous for the future. Goodbye, Agatha. She didn't come back. Okay, so we get control. Never mind. Didn't want to play Lady Sif instead, no. Okay. Swordmaster takes a 33% now. Let's roll the dice. Does she stay, or is she gone? This is so different than anything else Marvel Snap has to offer, and I think that's what makes it kind of cool. It's definitely novel once in a blue moon. Nope, okay, so Lady Sif into the Abyss. And we know we aren't drawing Hela, unfortunately. Juggernaut will shift away the Swordmaster. So Dracula, our only play here. Didn't really want to play it into Attilan, to be honest, but... It's going to be discarding Death, so that's not bad. So maybe if Agatha puts herself mid... Please put yourself mid, Agatha. Please. Okay. Very nice. I think we win this game. I guess Dracula could hit Jubilee. I should have thought of that before I snapped. Please hit Death. More Casino. More 50-50. Sod it. Gamble. Raise. I would like to raise the stakes. Seems only fair with this deck, to be honest. No way we ever miss our 50-50, right? Opponent never plays into Attilan, and we never miss our 50-50, right? Chat, I need you to believe in me. Because Lord knows someone has to. I wonder why these turns feel like they're taking so long. Maybe both of our opponents are just a little bit occupied, but... Normally the last turns of the game aren't this slow. Opponent's out. Agatha's 2-0. Okay, can Agatha get the clean sweep? Is Agatha just a better snap player? This bubble is so cool. Is Agatha just a better snap player than me? Okay, Tanaka is the end boss. Once again, play patterns just perfected early on so that we don't have to worry about Agatha doing something silly. Quicksilver on one. We do have a discard effect. We actually have two of them. Would be nice if she played Lady Sif for us instead. But that may hit the Infinite this time. The big house, sure. So down goes Domino. Agatha, which 3-drop would you like to play? Shuri's Lab seems like a pretty good location for this deck. She goes with Gambit again. She seems kind of opposed to playing Lady Sif for obvious reasons, I guess. In this case, maybe not, because it would discard Death now instead, so... Alright, Gambit, take your 25%. Deal the cards. Become a 2-power card. Kill that Agent 13, and hopefully discard Agatha Harkness. No, how do you hit the only 3-drop? Well, that's definitely an example of losing in the casino. That was about the worst possible hit for us, to be completely honest. Okay, Jubilee is a good one. Didn't really want it into Shuri's Lab, but it is a good one. Opponent plays the Jessica Jones. It's pretty good into Shuri's Lab, to be fair. Flips Swordmaster. Okay, we hit the Death. That's not great. Oh, you're going to see one of the downsides here as well, because if we... Okay, so this is really good. Dracula's a very good hit for the way our hand is clonked up, but if we draw Hela, for example, we actually can't Hela back the stuff we've discarded, because Agatha will always play herself. And she can't go in the big house. So I believe we're dead here. And for the sake of content, I'm going to let this play out, because there's no point in me running away when I can just... They didn't go into the big house, because, okay, they have a claw, sure. That makes plenty of sense. So alas, no 3-0 for Agatha. She tried her best. But unfortunately in that third game, she remained in our hand, and therefore kept making slightly suboptimal plays. This bubble's so sweet. It's probably the best part of this card, I think. So yeah, there you go. Something a little more novel. Casino Agatha for you as our first unique Pool 3 feature. From BarkRulesKR, who submitted it on the deck builder on the website. And hopefully he's having some fun with it too. This one's really sweet. There's definitely some smarts behind Quicksilver and Domino being the only plays you can make early into all of these 3-cost discard effects. But you are definitely rolling the dice. If you like to just gamble a little bit and be able to play a little absent-mindedly, maybe this is the meme deck for you. So if you have enjoyed this one, you want to try it out yourself, the list is available for you in the description box down below. Make sure you're subscribing over here to Marvel Snap Zone. We want to see more of you for more content like this. But until next time, I have been HowlingMines, you have been amazing, and I'll see you again very soon for more on Marvel Snap Zone.